Yo, what's going on, brother?
What's up, my brother? How's it going? I'm doing great,
Pretty
bro.
good. Happy
So,
New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody. So, we wanted to welcome everybody to episode number 1. The previous episode was episode 0.5, where we kind of described our backgrounds and we went over what our sentiments were. And so, here we are, episode number 1. And what we'll be discussing in this episode is the way that 2021 closed from a crypto perspective, where we think 2022 is going from a crypto perspective. And we're bringing a TA analyst onto the show for the first episode by the name of the Abundant Alchemist. And so he'll give you that breakdown from a TA perspective. After he's done, we're going to close the show with the 3 winners of the
we selected
ETH.
the 3 winners. They're out, so you have to wait and see and find out if you won. And also, I fixed my setup. I fired the cameraman, so I don't look as tense as I did before. So we hired a new cameraman and we hired a new director of TikTok. So
absolutely.
Value.
Absolutely. We hired a new manager of TikTok. Absolutely.
All right, so we'll bring Manolo Borja in, the Abundant Alchemist. He's a personal friend of mine, and he's one of the people that kind of got me into crypto also. So
without further ado,
Manolo, what's going
on? Manolo, what's going on, brother?
Guys. Hello, fellas. Hello, world. What's going on?
Oh, man, we're just chilling right now. We just gave birth to the channel, and so you're here from inception.
Give it a little...
Give it a little christening, right? And so we let the channel know that what we were trying to do is we were trying to give a highlight of 2021 and what our thoughts of 2022 were. And so we're bringing on your expertise to kind of shed some light on that. And so we'll kind of leave the platform open to you to take it from there. And I'll chime in and I'll ask questions, and so will Johan here and there in order to make sure that it's a fluid conversation. So please, without further ado,
give us a little background by yourself, Manolo, on how you got started in the crypto space, and then let it flow.
Cool. So historically, I've dabbled in different jobs. My last business was as a car detailer. First heard of crypto by Mr. Altucher, if you could look him up online. Didn't really jump into it. As I was detailing one of my clients' trucks, I was listening to JRNY, Journey Crypto, great channel. And I just felt his sincerity in it. And after listening to his journey and how successful he was, I said, this is what I need to get into.
Nice.
And from that moment on, I've been investing. I invested the money that I made through my business, got into it. The lockdowns happened. The money started coming in. And luckily, I had some money aside from that money coming in. And I just made some things work, invested in myself, like I suggest many of our viewers to do.
Beautiful.
Took some courses, and here I am just about 2 years later.
Nice. So to add to that, right, we had in the previous session, that was one of the things that we kind of advised the viewer, right? So you either make an investment in something external, be what it may, stock market or crypto, or you either invest in yourself. So it's a great point. And so we're looking forward to your insight as to how 2021 finished and what we can expect from 2022.
Absolutely. So perfect. So from the moment that I got in pre 10K Bitcoin to the moment that I'm going to start describing to set off 2021, which was a pivotal moment, there's been like this huge shift in sentiment from being called fake money when it comes to Bitcoin to now these big wigs, big dogs that are highly respected, some of the wealthiest people in the world throwing millions and millions of dollars into this space. And we've seen a huge shift in the sentiment worldwide of crypto. And so I want to just go over some of the what I would consider the top 10 events that have set such a big impact in this space to set us up for 2022. And we'll get into that also.
Can I pause right there and just ask, right? And so the sentiment for cryptocurrency, do you think it's changed as a result of and I'll put quote unquote, right? Because there's a lot of exterior factors and I don't want to just ring fence them. But there has been a lot of talk around the US in terms of inflation, right? And so in the past, right, most people that are investing money, they look for a hedge against USD, right? Whether the USD is outperforming or underperforming, you want to try to figure out a place where you can park your money, right? And so do you think that the spike in cryptocurrency has been a result of the fact that there has been a loss in the value, not the faith. Faith is a fantastic word, right? There has been a loss in the faith of the USD. And so people are looking elsewhere to park their money, right? At the end of the day, right, I don't want to take away from it. And I want to say, right, the USD is the world reserve currency. And so you're always going to have in and out flows from a USD perspective. But I mean, from an overall APY and how you can make maximal or the most returns on your money, is crypto a good hedge against the USD?
I would say absolutely. And, you know, there's other avenues that you could take to hedge against it. And I have no problem with them, such as silver, gold, and, you know, other stocks. We could talk about tips.
I'm a precious metal bug before you continue.
Yeah. I have silver. I have copper. I sold my
whiskey.
gold. Hey, in the SHTF situation, that whiskey could definitely
Japanese
feed your family,
whiskey,
you know what I'm saying?
Stocks going up. Japanese whiskey, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Not financial advice.
But definitely, I think if it wasn't for what's going on with the dollar, because, you know, we could get into the backing of the dollar. Now it's pretty much all backed on trust, and
it's been that way since 1971, if you think about it, right?
Right. So you know your history, and now that trust is kind of just losing steam. It's been running on momentum that's kind of dying when you see that Russia and China kind of getting away from oil, the US, and trying not to interact with dollars. And we're going to see what kind of effects that has in 2022. But without a doubt, when you look at the returns that people are getting when they deposit $10,000 on a CD, they're going to get like $17 after 1 year locked in. So why wouldn't I just jump into DeFi? Crypto is definitely, in my opinion, the number one hedge against what we're experiencing, and you could see it, you know, at your grocery store. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't be certain things that will become cheaper, the things that we may not need to survive.
Good point.
In the next coming months, we're going to see sales like we haven't imagined when it comes to even vehicles, TVs, electronics. Because
so are you saying that you're going to see an uptick in sales, or are you thinking that the sales are going to remain flat?
I think the sales are going to remain flat because of what we're seeing, especially in grocery stores. We have to make a decision. Do you want to eat, or do you want to look at a flat screen TV in your living room? So we have to kind of trim from one place in order to put that money in another place. And because of this whole chip shortage, I believe that companies have sort of jumped the gun and ordered more parts than they actually need, trying to compensate for what just happened. Exactly. And they're just going to be left with an overstock of things that people aren't going to even have the money to buy. And those that do have the money to buy are going to be able to jump in and get hell of a deal.
Dude, I think. Can I just touch on that point?
Yeah.
I want to extrapolate that point because I think it's a very good point. Can you break it down a little bit more in terms of your thoughts on how the purchasing and the sales? Because I think you highlight that perfectly, but I want to just make sure that my understanding is clear. So if you could just go back and say what you just said a little bit more simplistic, I think it was a fantastic point, dude.
Okay. So we buy things that we enjoy and like, and we also buy things that we need to survive.
Yep.
Because of the situation that we found ourselves in, and this disease that we're experiencing, in order for what our government deems as necessary to keep us safe, it's been forced to give out money to sustain the economy. And in turn, what that's doing is it's actually devaluating the dollar because there's more paper in circulation. And so whenever, if you have 100 cars, your prized possession, if they're all 100 Ferraris, your valuation of that one Ferrari and how near and dear it is to you besides your first isn't that coveted, right? So it's almost like, when there's an overabundance anything.
If you will, if I could, right? You're speaking about the supply and demand chain, right? So you're kind of alluding to the fact that whenever you have an abundance of supply, right, the cost is cheaper, right? If you will, in a way, right?
Right, exactly.
Whenever the supply is scarce, then the price is greater because it's scarce, right? And so it's supply and demand, right? I like it.
Exactly. Like,
I like it.
My drunk uncle's time is worth way less than Jay-Z's time. If I could just call up my uncle at any moment, like,
yeah, 100%.
That 1 hour with Jay-Z, he could charge me $500,000 and somebody will pay for it.
100%. I love it.
Yeah. So I think we're just in a very, very, very complicated and unique situation right now, where it's just so many different variables that are adding up to 2022.
I love it, dude. And with that, right? Can I think that was a great segue, right? Can I segue you into your thoughts on 2021? How we ended the year and what you think we're doing in terms of 2022 and how we're getting there. I would love to hear that.
So just to make it brief, and we could all agree when we were talking earlier that so much has happened in 2021.
100%.
But I just want to go down the line of all these things that have happened that really have set us up. So besides the external things going on outside of crypto, what's going on within it has really pushed this whole space forward, maybe even way more than we're aware of until we take some time to pause and think about it. For example, crypto reaching past 1 trillion market cap and then reaching all-time highs of 1.5 trillion. Off the bat, institutional investing, the humongous bag that they're bringing to the table, I think is going to create a solid floor that
I like it.
Before the general everyday retail investor wouldn't have as a safety net.
I like it. Okay.
Just looking at MicroStrategy's story, them just like everybody else, we go back to that CD, $17 return on $10,000. All these companies just having their money in fiat sitting in a bank is being robbed. So every other company is going to have the same problem as we move forward if they continue to print money, and they're going to say, where the hell can we put our money? And I think
on
the
that
answer is going to be clear.
on that topic, though, Manolo, I have a question.
Yeah.
Everyone was
Sure.
calling for $100,000 Bitcoin last year. Why do you think we didn't get close to that?
Why do I think that's a good one? I just think to touch on Benjamin Cohen's take on the market cycle, it may be due to the fact that we are now experiencing a lengthened cycle. So it's not going to be so condensed within like that 4-year bracket that we've seen historically. And that would mean that right now it's just we're in accumulation phase. And
I think if you don't mind me jumping in, I think to your point, I think that's a fantastic point, right? If you think about it, right, there's a lot of conversations in the ethos of 2017 versus 2022 and what the difference is, right? And I think a lot of people will say there really is no difference between 2017 and 2022. But I think there really is a difference, and I'll let you chime in where you will, but I think that the main difference is the fact that 2017 was predominantly based on retail.
Absolutely.
And so now we have institutional investors coming in. And so I think that the sentiment is different, right?
Yeah.
Whereby whenever you have retail investors that are grouping into a specific area, the sentiment is strictly based off of human emotion, right? And so whenever you have industries that are based off of the same area, they don't really deal with the human emotion as much as we do. But I'm leaning on you, leaning on you, dude.
So yeah, 2017 was really the year of the true risk taker. Not to say that investing right now is not a risk, but they really didn't have that historical
Data
length of history to look back at and say, okay, this is what's happened. We now have the luxury of seeing the cycle now down the road a little more, and so can kind of predict what we could expect. And I think that put together with what's going on worldwide with the economy could kind of give us an idea of where this whole thing is headed. And so yeah, that was like the first point that I wanted to touch on as far as the market cap growing. And I think we haven't seen anything yet. We've seen all-time highs of 1.5 trillion into it. We have to remember that Bitcoin hasn't even, I believe, overtaken the market cap of gold yet. So
not yet.
Once people understand the difference between gold and Bitcoin, the pros and cons, how many of us holding gold, if it's not in the chain, plan on using that in a materialistic way?
Dude, good point. And since we have a lot of people who are new to the space, do you think you could get into why would someone hold Bitcoin over gold?
I would say, especially for a gold bug that's wealthy in the millions, in the billions, if you're a billionaire, you don't want to have it all in gold, because what happens if you have to move somewhere? You can't just put all your gold in a backpack,
get up and go. That's a fantastic point.
And if that is your plan and you say, I'm going to do it, how much is that going to cost you?
Fantastic point.
You have your keys in your mind, you put it on a little ledger, and you're on your way.
Fantastic point. Perfect.
Thank you. So yeah, moving on from there, NFTs, what happened in March, Beeple selling his art for $69 million at Christie's. I think that opened the eyes of many people that were doubting what crypto was, and saw that it could kind of cross over to unexpected territory.
Right. So before before you continue, can I just ask you for a breakdown of, just to close this segment, right? A breakdown of 2021 and your vision of 2022 in terms of cryptocurrency.
All right, so breakdown of 2021. We saw Coinbase going public.
Yep.
The ETF for Bitcoin, which then got the approval of the SEC. So we see more adoption and more understanding, acceptance of mainstream and people that are in control of rules. China continuously fighting it off, and you could see where their morals lie and what their goals are as a country, as opposed to the free world, right? Then in August, Ethereum doing the London hard fork, which is then burning a lot of Ethereum, making it deflationary back to that point. Polygon getting hacked, and then the hacker returning the money back to Polygon. And again, I'm very bullish on Polygon. It didn't happen on its actual blockchain.
Polygon is solid. I love Polygon.
Polygon is solid. It happened on one of its bridges, which has nothing to do actually with Polygon. El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as legal tender was a big one. Then the Saturday Night Live Elon Musk event, which sent Doge shooting up. After that, November, the Taproot upgrade for Bitcoin, which helps transactions be more private and efficient, less expensive, and it also helps it execute with smart contracts, which you've spoken of here on your show before. Adding on to kind of round it all off, Facebook changing its name into Meta and rebranding. So follow the money. And one thing that caught mainstream media's attention heavy in November, where these decentralized autonomous organization actually bidding and raising $40 million in order to buy a copy of the U.S. Constitution at an auction, which they did not actually pull off successfully, but it shows what can be done when
100%
unite their money through an organization like this.
So talk to us about 2022. What are your visions for 2022 in terms of the market, and how do you see the market going in 22? Are we in a bear market? Are we in a bull market? Talk to us.
What do the charts say? Tell us what the charts say.
So if you take a look at the chart right now, you'd be like, what's going on? This thing is real boring. I would argue, let's all just take a deep breath, chill, and it's an excellent time to accumulate. Now, would you want to accumulate Bitcoin? That's another talk.
That's another talk.
And why, the reasons why maybe you want to pivot into other things, we could talk about that. But if Johan would be as kind as to put up the chart on the weekly chart on Binance that I screenshotted.
Let's get it.
This thing is showing us an ascending triangle formation. And essentially what it's showing is that right now we're in a strong trend upwards.
Okay.
That one. As you could see from the bottom to the top, these trend lines that it's creating, both in support and resistance, the trend is up. And we see a consolidation of price. So we have people that are undecided. Is this thing worth 60, 70,000, or is this thing worth 47? People at like the 40 something odd mark say, I'm in. This thing is on sale. People that once it gets to about 69,000 to say, this thing is overpriced, right? But so we're consolidating, and it's getting down to the point where we're going to reach a point of critical decision. There's going to be, more than likely, in my estimation, a breakout somewhere along the line of July 2022 upwards, because of this conversation that we've had previous about what's going on with the dollar. So Bitcoin,
I like it.
I'm definitely bullish. It may not happen as soon as many believed that it would happen.
So wait, can I ask you what your price prediction on Bitcoin is?
So
From here
I
to
mean,
July.
Yeah, from here to July, I think we could easily have new all-time highs breaking 70, 75, touching 80.
Like it. Okay.
We may be surprised and it goes up to 100 depending on how many institutions. Speaking about institutions, Kathy Wood has stated that if only 5% of institutions put 5% of their portfolios into Bitcoin, it would go to 400,000.
So here's one of the things that I think about, and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong, right? I'm a gold bug, right? I hold gold, I hold precious metals, and we have it, right? But I don't think that most up and coming generations value gold as much as the older generations do, right?
Yeah.
And so how do you supplement gold, right? And I feel like Bitcoin might be a good supplement to gold, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And keep going.
I don't think that we need to be living in a world of all or nothing and, say just because I like this, then I should not like that. I think, that we could love you too. I think that we could, what I'm saying, appreciate the things that Bitcoin is good for and also appreciate the things that gold is good for.
Oh, I love you for that, dude. That's a solid thought right there.
Yeah, because just because I just invested in an NFT doesn't mean I'll never hang something on my wall.
100%. I love you for that. No, for real. That's a solid thought, dude. That's a solid thought.
And I think we have to stop being so I'm team this, so screw that.
No, 100%.
This is kind of like the world that is being encouraged, and I would say let's step away from that because we could win actually more by having our feet in different things in order to hedge. Because you know what? As much as I love Bitcoin, what happens if like we get hit by a solar flare and everything goes down?
Oh, I love you.
You're gonna be able to eat because you're holding gold or silver
Manolo, can we get into a little bit about how does someone who's watching this and is interested in starting to trade, how would someone go about that? Can you walk us through what tips will you give them or how you think they can get started?
So I would advise that if you're new to this, completely new, and you're working a 9-to-5 job and you're just like, okay, I see what's going on. I got a raise, but the grocery store is charging me a lot more for steak than it did before. What do I do to kind of help myself along? What I would say is simply take a percentage of what your weekly check is. And again, not financial advice. This is just what I would advise to a family member or a friend. And this is what I'm doing, what I've done. Take a percentage of what your disposable income is, right? What you would drink away or what you would smoke away or what you would play in the lottery or whatever, and put it into a discipline of placing it into an account like Coinbase. We're keeping it basic.
Love this man.
Whether it be every day, every week, or every month. So what you're doing is you're averaging out the price that you're entering. And so this is completely devoid of knowing technical analysis. This is just, we're taking a basic approach to winning. And as you enter the market at this consistent rate, you're going to get a nice average enter price for this given
entry
asset.
point. I love it, dude.
Yeah,
I love it, dude.
So I think that's the easiest way to go about. I would stay away from trading necessarily.
I love it, dude.
With that, I wouldn't say I would stay away from selling. If we see a surge, right? If I put $100 and I look at my Coinbase account and I go, holy moly, I'm at 1,000. You should think about paying yourself. You should think
taking profits.
Whether it be, at least your initial profit, initial investment, which is, we get into that, the little old lady strategy, selling half on a double. It kind of takes emotions away from approaching the market and taking profits.
I love it.
So That's a simple answer. Just be disciplined in putting a certain amount of money into this, and then be disciplined when you see a spike in your account to take some profits.
Love it.
Love it.
Glad. Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm really excited for 2022. I think the space is primed for a lot of surprises. We've seen a lot of things that were not expected to happen in 2021. And I think we're just going to see more of that in 2022, including this whole metaverse that's developing. And to touch on that, I think things are going to unfold that our imagination hasn't considered yet.
Yeah, for sure.
The fact that a company like Facebook chooses to rebrand, and it's not like they just did this on a whim. At first take, that's what I thought, but listening to the Gary V,
they had to do it.
Him, they've been working on this for 7 years.
Yeah, they had to do it.
So they saw this coming, and for them to invest so much money into something like this space is going to flourish and just evolve.
So I would say, if you don't mind, give your explanation of what a layer 1 is versus a layer 2.
Definitely. So a layer 1 is like the I'm thinking of the word pantheon. I don't know if that's adequate, but it's just this ecosystem where you have a blockchain that allows building to be taken, put on top of. So we could say like a layer 1 is the city, right?
Yep.
A city. And then you have layer 2s that could scale or help add value to that layer 1. So say, for example, Ethereum having problems with its gas fees, then you have this layer 2, what is it, Ox?
I think it's also in terms of, like, for Ethereum, right? It's about scalability too, right? Can they scale?
Right. I think that whole EIP upgrade was supposed to help with that, but definitely
the 2.0
coming up should definitely help with that. And something notable that I want to throw in there is, the proof of work to this upgrade in the proof of stake that's going on with Ethereum. Cardano already has that.
Can you give a little breakdown of proof of stake versus proof of work?
So I haven't gone way deep into it, but just as in, like, just touching the surface, proof of work seems to be more intensive with its mining process.
Yep.
And also takes more of a toll on the environment, as opposed to
the electronic consumption of things, right?
As opposed to proof of stake, which seems to be a little bit more of a faster way of developing it and moving forward, which there's always a compromise, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So I think the argument... Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'll jump in real quick in terms of proof of work and proof of stake, right? And so proof of work, what it is, right, is proof of work in theory is you have this network whereby you're trying to break an algorithm and you're trying to break something so that you can confirm a transaction onto the blockchain, right? And so with proof of work, what happens is you have multiple validators across the network that are willing to break a hash, right? And so with the proof of hash or the proof of work, what happens with that is that there is electricity or there's things that are needed in order for you to be able to break that algorithm, right? The difference between proof of work and proof of stake is the fact that in proof of work, you're literally breaking an algorithm to try to figure out what is what. Where proof of stake is you're staking your own coins. You're putting your own coins out in the ether. And because of the fact that your coins are staked, you can actually validate them on the network. You know
Right.
what I
It's like,
mean?
okay, this is where they are. I could
Exactly.
pinpoint them. And so
Exactly.
I could,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
I think it also has a deflationary, you may have said that already, but a deflationary outcome.
Most of these cryptocurrencies are deflationary in nature,
Yes,
which is
definitely.
why
So,
which is why I love them.
yeah, yeah. And, so that right there is like a great hedge against what's going on. So it's like
100%.
maybe we could say that Ethereum is the electronic version of silver, right?
Oh, okay.
Um, and there was a point that I wanted to, yeah, with what's going on this year. Elon Musk has recently tweeted in response to somebody asking him when does he believe that the recession is going to hit in 2022. And he had this to say. I don't know if Johan's there with
We're on it, baby. We're on it.
perfect. Here we
Oh,
go. So
wait.
he goes, predicting macroeconomics is challenging to say the least. My gut feel is maybe around spring or summer 2022, there will be a recession, but not later than 2023.
I love it.
So it's like the writing is on the wall. And
100%.
this is why I'm saying that in 2017, really, the brave were getting into crypto, and right now it's almost like if you're not getting into crypto, it's because you just rather lay on the couch and watch Netflix, because it's like so accessible. Everybody's ringing the alarm. Not only has Elon Musk kind of said that something is about to come in 2022, but there's a famed investor named Jim Rogers. He's predicting a crash as well, and he's more into the silver, copper. He's even talking about agriculture stocks, sugar and corn in particular, because these are things that we just need as a society to live. Now I kind of went on a tangent there, but
it makes a lot of
we can
sense.
expect coming 2022. Besides the development of Web 3.0 that we're seeing with this whole metaverse go on. So just for your viewers, I would say like the play for Web 3.0, if that's what you're into, Helium. I know that your nose could vouch for
dude.
Helium,
If people who ask me about it, Manolo's actually the person who got me into it. So it's actually pretty cool. I remember you explaining it to me. And once you did, I was like, yo, I got to get in this.
I love it.
I did.
I love it. I love the fact that, he did very well with it. And he actually did something I didn't and was able to capitalize because he took that risk of putting his capital into that helium miner. I simply used Emirate, which takes a cut. And that was fine with me at the moment because my money was locked into cryptos at the moment.
And it's a good way to start anyway,
Yeah, definitely.
Out,
so Web 3.0 plays Helium, Polkadot, Atom, Cosmos, and Cosmos I'm very, very bullish on because of its interconnectivity play. It's allowing ecosystems to interconnect. If you're bullish on Web 3.0, Filecoin, which is a decentralized filing system, Flux, FLUX, which I believe allows scaling and development to take place very rapidly. Those are my choices for Web 3.0. I was looking recently into Weiss Ratings, which is a renowned ratings company in not just the banking but also insurance, and now they've gotten into crypto. So I did a little homework for your viewers earlier today, and for DeFi 2.0, they have really good ratings when it comes to these particular coins: Cardano, Matic, DOT, Adam, and Link. Just to keep it brief, those are 4 picks. And
I love those picks, actually. And just so everyone's aware, this is not financial advice.
not financial advice.
DYOR, do your own research, and look into those as a solid coins.
Absolutely. You know, it's there's a lot of excitement, especially with Cardano. Like I said in one of my videos, Chamath, he's pretty much saying that he's betting on a short play with Visa and MasterCard, and he's longing DeFi and certain crypto spaces. And, you know, there's arguments pro and con that.
I agree. And dude, we're almost running out of time, so I just want to make sure you get your predictions in for 2022. Just, you know, what you see in the overall market coming.
I just looking at the charts before this, I think that we're going to see new all-time highs for Atom pretty soon in the next coming weeks in March. And I do see, for all you SHIB holders, Shiba Inu, I see a breakout happening by the end of this month, around January 20.
Nice. I love it.
Yes, sir.
Love it. All right.
All right, we got to get
Without
into the
further
giveaway.
ado,
Let's do it. People have been waiting. The Steve Harvey envelope is here. We're going to call him out.
My man.
Go. In third place, we have Sweets 1089. We'll be reaching out to you with your wallet address, and we'll send it over to you. That's third place.
congratulations.
Love it.
Second
Congratulations. Round of applause. Can we just get a round of applause for third place?
Third place. Second place, we have Mel C. Mel
Ooh.
C.
Mel
So,
C, congratulations,
We'll be
brother.
reaching out to you, giving you your winnings. Round of applause. And for first place,
First place, drum roll, please.
The bag.
we got at Hondro. We'll be reaching out to you with your winnings. So thank you for subscribing
Perfect.
and joining.
Right.
And this won't be the
Congrats,
last.
guys.
Hopefully, we'll be giving out a bunch of stuff, books, subscriptions to other things, and more importantly,
Oh, we getting it. We getting it popping it out throughout the course of the channel. So
we're taking over.
we want to give away some giveaways that everyone can appreciate. But keep going. Talk to me,
guys,
Alchemist.
I just wanted to let your viewers know, you know, I want to give my plug right here.
Plug yourself in,
At
dude.
Twitter,
plug yourself in,
Instagram, YouTube, of course, at the Abundant Alchemist. I just joined, TikTok. So I'll be a little more silly on there and hopefully get one or two laughs from you guys. Maybe some dancing if you guys are lucky. And I have resources available on my channels there where you could click on Instagram, on YouTube. Working on a book right now called The 5 Pillars of Crypto, fourth turning, 8,035 coins. So hopefully by the second quarter, that thing will be out. And hopefully I could be back on and talk about it.
And you have a bunch of affiliate links, right? So where people can
click. Yeah. So, you know, you could choose to click, and I do get compensated for it. I appreciate that a lot. Also, I'm currently tutoring somebody on a one-on-one basis. If anybody's interested, you could contact me and we can make some time for that as well.
So anybody that's watching the channel right now, it's an amazing source. It's an amazing source of content. Please make sure you follow the Abundant Alchemist. And we were fortunate enough to have him be on the first episode today. And so we look forward to many more episodes coming forward in the future.
Yes, sir. I'll be glad anytime.
Abundant Alchemist, man. I mean, the conversation was fantastic. Your content, as always, is great. And so we look forward to many more conversations with you in the future. And we look forward to promoting you on the channel, having you on the channel. You're a great soul. And so we look forward to everything that has to do related to you. And
I'm excited for the winners and excited for your viewers. This is going to be a great year, guys.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Thank you, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Hallelujah.
See you on the
Peace.
next one.